Good evening, educators. On the first full day of our administration, I kicked off my time as First Lady by inviting Becky and Randy to the White House, along with all of you virtually. And this year, we are happy to also be joined by our UAW higher education colleagues. With your help, we've gotten so much done already. So as we close out our second year, I wanted to bring us all together once again. And as you can guess, we're in full holiday swing here at the White House, and every room is decorated with twinkling lights and beautiful ornaments. In fact, in the state dining room, we were inspired by We the Children. And the trees are decorated with self-portraits created by the students of our most recent Teachers of the Year. And when I walk through that room, I'm reminded of the dedication and the determination of all my colleagues, you, across the country, and of the promise of the next generation and the future that they will create. Educators shape that future every single day. So it's my honor to be with all of you this evening and to introduce the leaders of the NEA and AFT. They've been incredible partners, tireless advocates for educators and their students, and of course, good friends. So please welcome Becky Pringle and Randy Weingarten.
So, as we all have lost our voices, I just want to, I'm so honored to be here and be in your presence, and honored to be with my partner, Becky, where we have traversed the country through everything, it seems to me, all the plagues. But the constant has been educators and nurses and healthcare folks and others making a difference in the lives of kids. And frankly, the constant has been you and your husband.
Oh, thank you.
And this is why I say this, because, you know, the first day, and remember, you invited us the first day, and I remember what that moment was like. 40% of the schools were closed. The economy was doing terribly. Supply chains were broken, and people had very little hope. I mean, we had just had an insurrection in the Capitol. And your husband comes in, and in 2 years, and you said to our members and to the teachers back there, hi, teachers back there, you said to,
oh, wait.
Yeah, hi. I mean, and it was another Zoom like this, but you said to them, have hope. But I want to just say for a second what you and what the president has done. I mean, I can't even remember all the mnemonics of all the things that have been done. I'm a history teacher. It is more than any other president since FDR, and maybe more than FDR. The American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Infrastructure Act, the Bipartisan Safety Act, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, the Science Act, and tomorrow celebrating marriage equality.
Yes.
And so what you've done, both in your words and your deeds, is not only create hope for a future, but do it in real time, in a real way that shows that government can work. And what I want to say that the teachers who are watching, the educators who are watching, the school nurses that are watching, not only does Dr. Biden and President Biden have our back, but I want to say to you, what you do is noble and righteous work. Every single day you lift kids up. You dig into your pockets for money, for paper and, supplies, but you nurture with your eyes and with your smile. And it's not always easy. We saw all the culture wars this year. We see all the demonization. We see all the, the names that we get called. But every single day you persevere. You are nation builders. And the people in this White House, Dr. Biden and her husband, who happens to be the president, they have our back. So I want to give it over to Becky and just say again to you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for saying that.
And I want to say to all of you, stay as the nation builders you are. You make a difference every single day. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Randy. And Dr. Biden, can I tell them a secret?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell
Depends
them
what it
anyway.
is.
I'm going to tell them anyway. So we're standing backstage, and Dr. Biden is sharing that she has to grade papers. And she not only grade her papers, she has to record the grades. So she's a little like, I got to get to my work. And that, I wanted to share that because, you know, Randy, as you were talking about our first day, you remember, you said,
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
keep teaching. Now, I don't know if you thought you could do it or whether that was even possible. And I saw people looking at you like, no, you're not.
I did too.
But you did. You did. You did. And I can tell you that as I traveled around the country and I talked about your dedication to teaching the students and listening to them, the authenticity, the reality that you brought to this job here in the White House was apparent to all of our educators across this country. So I need to just start by saying thank you for keeping true to your word and to standing up for all of us, showing everyone what it means to be an educator at our core. So I wanted to start there. And you know what? You can give a thanks to your husband too. Oh my goodness. So Randy went down that list. And as I traveled across this country, and I talked with educators, and I asked them what they needed to do the jobs they love. This is what they said to me. They said, we need to be seen. We need to be heard. We need to be respected as the professionals we are. They use that word respect over and over again. And we all, the three of us, know what that means, right?
We get it.
We get it. The authority to make teaching and learning decisions as the professionals we are. The ability to raise a families because we have professional pay. To know that we spent our lives not only going to school, but honing our craft, right? And we still do. And we still do. Yeah. When I get the opportunity to listen to them and hear them talk to me about them seeing that we are partners, that we have you here in the White House, not only you as a fellow educator, but hearing President Biden talk about how important it is to have a public school system in this country. How important it is to have people who are still choosing to go into the profession and stay there, and what he's gonna do to fight for us, because he knows that having a qualified teacher, that's what makes a difference. And I cannot thank you enough. And these people in those little squares, oh my goodness. So when I talk to them about, coming together, uniting this country to reclaim public education as a common good, as a foundation of our democracy, and then transforming it into something we all know it was never designed to be. A racially and socially just an equitable system that prepares every student, every single one to succeed. That's what they do every day. They surround those students with that love.
Yeah,
they stand in those gaps, and they know that you got them. You have them every single day. Thank you all for the work you do. You make me so. I taught science for over 30 years. I have never been more proud to call myself a teacher than I am this day because of you.
Yep.
Thank you for your energy and your activism. Thank you for always, in all ways, being worthy of our students.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Jill.
Becky. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Randy. You know, your commitment to your members and to our students is unparalleled. And right now, we're in the last stretch of the semester. And I know that, like me, many of you are working on your final exams and tabulating grades. And this time of year is magical, but there's always like a little bit of mayhem too. And as you manage an overflowing schedule of winter assemblies and holiday concerts and class parties, meanwhile, nurse's office filled with sniffles, shoes covered in slush and ice run through the halls, and cafeteria kitchens make sure kids don't go hungry during the holiday break. And I know it can be overwhelming, on top of doing a job that's not easy in the simplest of times. So I wanted to personally let all of you know how grateful the president and I are for the incredible work you all do, no matter the season. And this year I've met inspiring educators across our nation, from bright-eyed teaching apprentices in Knoxville, getting paid to do their student teaching, to veteran teachers in Connecticut, helping kids catch up in the summer months and learn to swim, to educators in Milwaukee, working with parents after school at a homework diner. That was very cool. Their stories have reminded me of how much hope can be found in our classrooms. And like you, like both of you, I have never been more proud to call myself an educator. Teachers, counselors, and custodians, bus drivers, and nurses, our students depend on us. So when budgets run thin, when schools need more support, when we see injustice and inequality, we fight for our classrooms and our communities. Thank you for standing up for your students and for each other. Thank you for using your teacher voice to fight for justice and equity. Thank you for showing up when it matters the most. And I want you to know that you're not in this alone. You have a champion in the White House, too, in fact, your president and me. You know, I always knew that Joe would be an education president because this means so much to him. He's working every day to support what we call the 3 R's of teaching: recruiting, respecting, and retaining our educators. And he's delivered on his promises, from historic investments to safely reopen schools, to addressing the mental health and academic needs of our students, to signing the bipartisan gun bill, to providing loan forgiveness for public servants. And we're not done yet. We're going to keep fighting for you and your students. We're going to keep standing with you as you change lives in little ways and big ones. We still have a lot of work left to do, but I know that together we will continue to transform our country and change our future for the better. So I hope you can use your holiday break to rest and spend some time with your families and your friends and get your flu and updated COVID vaccines so that you can enjoy your time off with less stress and refresh for the year ahead. You know, a few weeks ago, I was in New Hampshire and I ran into a student of mine from more than 30 years ago. Oh, wow. In that moment, I could picture exactly where he sat in my classroom. And he told me that he remembered my lessons too, that they had left an impression on him that lasted all these decades later. So as you calculate your grades and mid-year evaluations, you can see the difference that you are making in your students' lives. But your influence goes beyond books read or lectures given. It's how you see the boy who kind of feels like he's fading away, and you help him express himself through music or art. How you help the girl who thinks she's not smart enough Find the intelligence that's always been there and you know it. How you tell a mom that despite her fears, she's doing a good job. How you know that sometimes I'm fine means that everything is wrong. And how you light a path when someone feels lost. Those are the tiny miracles that you perform every day. And that magic lasts beyond one class or one semester. You help students become kinder and smarter and more optimistic, become the people they want to be. You shape our world, one student at a time. From the bottom of my heart, thank you and happy holidays.